And we're live. So thanks for joining me today. It's Chris Ellis. I am going to be sharing how to use Cursor to build a dashboard of GitHub contributions and go from there. So let's see how we get going. So let me share my screen. So this is going to be with SvelteKit. We use SvelteKit at my company. So I need to share this out. And with SvelteKit, we doesn't like the length here. Sorry, crafting a tweet. So let's drop some of these things. So we use SvelteKit, we use Tailwind, we use PNPM. So we do that with a workspace. So I think this will be a fun one. And I need to share this with my team. Apologies. Link. I'm gonna go to my posts. And there we go. Okay. SvelteKit, big fan of it. shadcn, big fan of it. Tailwind, big fan of it. GitHub, I'm a big fan of it. So let's get started. First, I'm going to create a new branch. And a few weeks ago, I made this I don't know why it does that when I hide that, but I made this to count the number of commits per week by my team. So we use a lot of feature. We'll call this a dashboard. We use a lot of commits per week, and so I think it's kind of the largest team. I'm not sure. So I'll run this to show you what happens. So let's close this, and we will go. Let's see. This is in Tools. I should get some autocomplete. Let me bump this size up. And so tools and shells, and we've got source and we've got count commits. So like this uses the local GitHub. So you have to have access to it. All of those sorts of things are handled. And this counts the sort of commits per week and outputs it there. And I thought it would be cool if we could visualize this a little bit and potentially break this down in different ways. So a lot of commits over the past 8 weeks. And it's just, using the local GitHub here. So if I pull up the Git graph and filter this by main, it's got like our whole sort of history, and you see there's a lot of stuff that's going in. So I thought it was pretty cool, and I think a dashboard for this would also be awesome. And I was just gonna not have a database, just leave this in the code base so you can see the changes. So that's the plan. So we will do a little bit of setup first without using Cursor for it. Could highlight Cursor doing that, but I'm not sure that that's necessary. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new app. And I don't know, actually, this is more of a tool. So we have PNPM workspace with a lot of different setups in here. So I'm just going to move about, and we're gonna CD to tools. Actually, just type tools, and I'm gonna make a dir. Actually, I could just copy in that, and it's gonna create my app, and then I'll just relabel it. So we're gonna do a skeleton project, TypeScript, all the goodies, not the preview. CD to my app. So my app, sorry about that. Dashboard. So I'll just relay this dashboard. So yeah, we're in, let's see. Okay, we're in a funny spot, so might as well just kill that and start over. There's a way. No, I don't really want to debug with cursor. Kill terminal. Let's open a new terminal. Okay, in the monorepo. So let's go back to tools, list. We should see dashboard. I think what it did was it did a move when I did that under the hood. So yeah, we've got the default setup for a new SvelteKit application. I'm going to PMI. It's going to install this to the workspace, and I got 36 projects. 36 projects. There should be a lot of reuse here because there's not much new. Let's find our next steps on here. So first things first, we need to add Tailwind to this project. Still have a little bit of a cough. Hello, whoever's joined. How are you today? Conditions not met. Clear working directory. Oh, yep. Do you wish to continue? No. So let's do our first commit. Add all GCM. I have a little thing in my Zesh setup that allows me to generate these. So I look this up. And let's start again. So we can let's check and make sure that this has updated. Okay, so that's one level higher. And since I dropped down into this folder, it's not going to work. So so GCM again. And what it does is it checks the diff of like the files that you've done, sends that to Claude to summarize and put that in conventional commits. So pretty lazy, custom built, but I think pretty handy because I don't really think about that anymore. And it's mostly right. So let's go up into our thing and let's add Tailwind latest. If you want to add the typography, why not? So we're about 8 minutes in, still installing stuff. Let's find the next step. And I've already installed, it's adding this again. I'll probably need to install again just to make sure. And it looks like we're going to need to update the path aliases. If you're not using the default, no, we're using the default. So there's an advantage to using defaults. I think that's our next step. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and add this. Would you like the default style? Sure. I just said I like defaults. We'll go with Zinc. Where is your... I don't know if this will do something funny in a file. So it should be sensing where these things are. So yeah, that is a Tailwind config. And it is source app CSS. So I probably should have checked that on the previous one. And I do want those to go into components, and we'll have some utils in there. Okay, that's done. So let's clear that. Do that PMPMI again. And check all my workspaces. Should be a big diff. So it did have all those things. Now we should be a PMPM dev. Let's see if there's any errors when this happens. Scoot that over to the side. So we already have a server running. I don't know which server is running. I think I have a server running. So I have another project. So I'm going to check that real quick. Okay, looks like I've got something. I do have another project running. So let's stop that because that's eating up my battery. I'm not streaming on battery. So I should probably edit this tweet. Whatever. I don't really care about the tweet. SvelteKit's running, which is good. And I'm running on this. So let's commit that. GCM. Let's see. Git add all. And so as not to miss the PMPM lock this time, you'll notice that the PMPM lock did not get added. I'm going to close that. Now, if I do GCM, cool. I'm loaded here, shadcn, run the CLI. So let's expand this a little bit. So now I actually had that in my clipboard, but we will do it again. Probably shouldn't do that with the running server. Who knows? Close that one. Oh, I did this already. Quit. So happens when you get older, you lose track of time. That's it. So we can add button, but I'd rather do everything. So I think if you just do that, it will give you the option to choose. So did the init. So I just need to add. Now it gives me the option to add stuff. And we're going to just copy in everything. Ready to install dependencies? Yes. So it's, if we pay attention here, what it's going to do, it's going to create a bunch of things in this lib folder. So we have these components, and shadcn has then created all these files and is pulling stuff into them, and it's installing bits UI. So we've got all of this stuff available to use. Look at the difference. It's thinking get status. Get add all. So that's interesting. It's created the components, but it hasn't done that. So cool. So let's GCM. See how handy that is? I didn't even think about this. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's run that again. Pim dev. Now, since I killed that other server, this is available on 5173. So we are good there. Now, what I want to do is I want to copy that that script. If you remember that script at the beginning. There we go. Tools, shells, commit count. Commit count. We're going to copy that. I'm going to add that separately to this. Now, I could make it a dependency within the monorepo, but I think this one's going to change quite a bit. So I'd rather, separation of responsibilities principle. So this is something in here. Now, I could convert this to a Node script, but the CLI is pretty handy to use here. So let's just git commits shell. Okay, so we're back to square one. I'm going to try to run this, and we're going to get some problems. So let's do git. Is this the right? Where did I put it? I did put it in the source folder. So source git. Did I put it in the source folder? No, I didn't. Why is that not showing? I think my file, I think I have too many files or something, because dashboard. Shell. These not found. Okay. So now we're going to start using cursor. Haven't used it yet. Now we're going to start using it. So let's go Command K. So in the terminal, you can also have it help you create commands. I have a shell script in the current directory. I would like to run it. So it has the context of what I've run before, and it submits that as well. So it knows that I tried to run git commits. So I can then command enter and permission denied. So I just say uh-oh, and it knows that like my last action was the permission denied. So I can do this and then run it. Command not found, weak. Okay, so let's look at the original one. So we have this command weak in here. I have to see if there's anything else in the tools. I don't see anything else in the tools. Get for I in this readable week. Change mod, get commits. So yeah, it's there. So now let's run that again. Maybe it's this. There we go. So it was that it was wrapped in those backticks. So now we've ported this over, but that's not the goal here. So what I'd like to do is update this. So now I'm going to open Commander, and let's get let's leave this as the count commits per week for the time being, and let's output these to JSON. So I'm going to open Commander, Command K, and let's output these results to JSON format. And with that, we should be able to see what, what's making up the thing. So press enter. And this added a whole bunch. So I could command enter and just see what happens. But let's read this just to see what's going on. And that's the thing, is like you're gonna go back and forth between these modes of work with it, where hello to viewers. You'll go back and forth with these two methods where you'll just be sort of iterating on it. You'll be thinking about the code at the code level. It's more of sort of your objective or your mini goal that you're working on, your sub objective. But then sometimes you'll want to actually grok and understand it, and both are really powerful. You have to keep leveling which level you're interacting with the software at, because sometimes you don't care about the plumbing in between. Sometimes you really care about the plumbing between these things. And right now I really care about it because this is going to be the shape of the JSON, and it might do things that I don't want it to do. So it is creating a JSON with this. We're not like going to want this to go long term with it. So for those of you that just joined, what we're doing is we're creating a dashboard with SvelteKit, Tailwind, shadcn, and Git with shell scripts. And we're doing all of that with Cursor, which I'm pretty good in most of the other stuff. Shell scripts, not so much. So we'll see how we do. So I'm going to press enter. Actually, I just gave that whole long speech about reading these things line by line. So the first thing, you get this sort of diff where it says, that's what it was. This is what we're changing it to. Quite a lot like GitHub, pretty handy, because you can choose whether you're going to accept everything. So in larger files, you'll see multiple of these as it reorganizes things. So looks like we're going to have a start of the week, start date, end date, and then commit count. That's pretty straightforward. And then there's some plumbing to make it a JSON thingamajig, and drops that in. 1 second. I don't know who you are, who's joined, but where are you from and how are you today? Yeah, we'll accept it. I've already read it, and I've read it to you. I've explained it. So let's see what happens. What is in our this? So just pnpm lock. So it's just this shell. So this is small enough for a commit. So let's run it again, and we've got what looks like JSON. Looks like JSON to me, and we should have a new JSON file. Okay, so it's outputted, but you know what? All it's done is output it. So let's say Command K. We'll do Command I. So this opens the commander. We'll say, I meant you to save the JSON as well. Also, it should overwrite the JSON each time. So go with that. I report on our commits every week, like how many changes do we introduce to the system. So I think it's pretty handy to have, a longer term record of it. And we might as well just commit that to the code, because then other people can come in and edit it. So that's the current thinking on it. But it's like constantly pivot, I think is a thing. So it's run again, but I'm not getting a JSON in here. So let's look at that project folder. Components, JSON, that is a okay, so let's use some prompt engineering here. Let's take this step by step. Why is this not saving to the output file? Now, I just invoked a pattern you're probably familiar with in AI agents and LLMs, is forcing it to take it step by step can sometimes have a good impact. So this is just answering the question. Oh, crap. Okay, there we go. So let's make this bigger so we can see it. Very small click target. Did it make a change? Yeah, it did make a change. Okay, so that's the summary of the change, but I want to see what it said it was doing. Occasionally, you should read this, I think. Right question, file permissions, execute files, right permissions, the directory where it's trying to save them. Could be that the shell doesn't have the right permissions, and I can't remember what permissions we gave it. So let's close that. Actually, we'll close that for the moment. Let's try it again. Let's escape that one down there. One more time. If this doesn't work, we're going to check those permissions. File contents saved to comments JSON. So we should see a JSON here. There we go. All right. So we got commit counts JSON. I think I want to change this already. I can kind of see. So let's open that file, because that's a really bad way to look at it. I'm going to save this and it'll reformat it. So I have a reformatter for VS Code, and that was ported over. I do like that these are in print form. That that was from the original thing. That was from the original script. But since we're saving this and going to be presenting this, we probably should have these as something different. So let's see if it can do that overriding behavior that I asked for. So let's open Commander again. Actually, I'm going to do it a different way this time. Command All, Command K. So it's only going to take in what I have selected and edit that. So you'll use that quite a bit as well. So let's save the dates as actual Unix dates. I think that might be handy, and we'll use that in the SvelteKit. I might actually even add this to the SvelteKit, which is kind of crazy. So we're putting these as Unix dates, Unix starts. See what happens. So Command All, and we'll save that. And we'll clear that again. Ooh. That didn't work. So I got a lot of illegal operations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, and you can highlight specific things and add that to Commander. and say what gives. Because it's a shell script, it tried to do an illegal operation. I am running on Mac OS, which has specific formats it expects. So that means that I was planning, okay, so ultimate goal was I was planning on having this run on a cron job at the beginning of each week, but that cron job is not going to be on a Mac system, so I need to be able to support both. Let's make sure we support both Linux and Mac. Cool. All right, let's give that a try again. So let's close that. You can Command W. Crap, I should close the file. Okay, so sometimes the focus gets off a little bit. So if you're watching Cursor Team, that's something I've noticed. It's not that big of an issue because you can normally just reopen. Ooh, it doesn't like it. Okay. Well, for the purposes of this one, I'm going to make it work on Mac, but we need to also do this for Linux. So let's see. Do that again. Still didn't work. Yeah, I don't actually want it to commit to the code yet until we've run it several times. So if I was to do that in CI/CD on cron, so I think it running on my local Mac and just me running the script once a week would be a fine outcome here. Okay, so we got the Linux timestamps. See if it's added those to this. Yep, we got those. So we're good to go. We got our data. So I am going to git add all. It's going to not add that PMPM GCM. Thank you for staying with me, whoever you are. Silent, that's what you are. It's okay. I'll talk for both of us. So let's load this again. Cool. And we'll open this. I didn't know. Yeah. Okay. We're here. Let's start using some of the shadcn and this. So I am gonna close this. Completely close. We're gonna go full Claude mode. So SvelteKit, if you're not familiar, is organized like this. So we've got a source folder, we've got lib, so it's built on Vite. Vite allows you to add $ stuff, so you'll see that as it fills in. We've got a lot of the components here, and then we've got routes, and routes has a layout. So let's open the layout. Let's see. I got a lot of layouts, so let's actually not search for it because it's just right there. And let's Command I, create a generic dashboard layout for me. It should be dark mode. All right. So always dark mode. Let's accept that. And we've got an issue. We only have one instance of script. What gives? Why are you trying to create multiple scripts? So let's, one thing it messed up on is this needs to be imported to be available. We'll drop the slot. Slot is used, let's see, we'll add TypeScript. Slot is used to help put in the actual page content. So this page stuff there will be visible. So let's move back over here. It looks like I've got a dashboard with some analytics. I'm not going to get too fussed about that because we're going to drop into the page in a minute. So we've, I think this dark mode is, I'm not sure how it works, but it seems to be working. So let's abstract this. Abstract this to a component, por favor. You can be sort of more relaxed with how you ask things as well. So it looks like we're getting some weird placement of these imports. And it doesn't have a lot to go on with the imports, so I'm going to be pretty forgiving with that. Does it exist? Components header. Did it create it? You're failing me. Didn't create it. So you know what? I'm going to not add it there. I'm just going to add it right in the routes because the goal with this is to show some other stuff, not all this stuff. So we'll add header. I'll look at my commander. Why didn't I create this? I don't know. So actually, just open the little chat thing on the side as well. I think I need to restart my TypeScript. Occasionally you have to restart TypeScript. That's pretty handy to do. It didn't show up. So why has my code base started complaining about all these things? Layout header .svelte. Okay. This seems like a question, so I can show off that side. So I'm getting squigglies. A lot. And then you can mention the file. This is very handy. Layout. And actually, I'm getting squigglies. And it knows like sort of the history of the latest file. So I've added that to the content. And it's going to go and look at what's causing the squigglies. Programming language. Whew, what's going on here? This has suddenly gotten dumb on me. I need to check my patterns because it should know. I'll take this opportunity to open cursor settings. I want to check something. I'll show you. So you can set up rules for AI here. You can choose, which models are being shown and drop in API keys. But one thing that I'm going to look at is this code base index. It doesn't know about these files, which means that it isn't showing these in the decision, which is, I think, why it did not know what that was. So I'm going to add this layout file. Actually, it was already there. I'm going to add it and say, I am getting squigglies. Oh, I see the problem. There we go. So yeah, back to the header for that. I don't know why I'm getting these squigglies, and we'll just add this to the chat. And squigglies with Svelte. Hello, whoever's joined. Hiya, John. How are you today? Good morning. Okay, so we're gonna not use npm, but we will use that. Hi, Scott. What's going on? Scott's probably going to give me a hard time. Yeah, different syntax with PNPM. Hey, Rupert. Bear, what is going on? My local's messed up. Yeah, full AI influencer, of course. Can I, let's see. Can I put that on the screen? Probably shouldn't be getting to Sapper. Oh my. Probably shouldn't be getting too worked up about this. So maybe I'm just going to ignore the squigglies because it is working. But yeah, we'll see. Let's see. It's 2024. Okay, sorry. Let's rehash. So why can't I restart my TypeScript server? It doesn't always show up. So we're going to go back to the layout, and we'll start that again. Make sure it didn't break much. Okay, so we're back to not having a layout file. So let's just go into, or a header file. Let's see. We'll cursor, create a header again for a dashboard site. Generate something for me. Still it's doing something back on layout. I'm not sure what it's doing, but it's got a lot of sort of this functionality there for me. So let's I kind of like the difference in color better. Commit history. Ooh, and it remembers the plan. So it's got some of those files in context. So it remembers our plan here. Now, I can't remember if Svelte shadcn had tables. I know it has tables, whether it had graphs yet. And I can't remember whether Hunter had gotten that in or not. So let's look at the components. Maybe Scott knows off the top of his head. See, graphs, nope, charts. Well, I think this is coming, even if it's not available yet. So let's add a sheet to this, and let's actually add something else, which is potentially a hack with cursor. So we're gonna add a new file, and we'll call this plan.md, and this is going to be our project plan. Like dashboard plan. Features, so we come up with a lot of things. We got a lot of that stuff. I am going to delete most of this and write my actual plan instead of the AI generated plan. Let's see. Create a, I think they call them sheet. Create a sheet on the, what's it called? The home screen. Create a sheet. Let's look at, I forget what sheets are. I know that's a thing. Nope, I don't, that's not what I want. Skeleton. That's the skeleton. I really don't want tabs. And if I knew shadcn a lot better, I'd probably this would have maybe been a better demo, but I don't really know it. That's fine, because we can just sort of do this stuff on our own. So they do have, these components in Svelte shadcn. So where is it? I'm running out of time. Yeah, I don't see it. If anybody can look for the direct link for how to get those charts in here, because I was hoping that I could build something like this. And I think I can. It's just I don't know where the thing is, and I think that there's some stuff that like we should do beforehand, like get some actual tables. So create a table of the commits. Oh, that's an interesting thing. So let's handle the first goal here. So I'm gonna close that now, and we're gonna go to the source page. We're doing this right on the home screen. And actually, we're not going to do it right on. We're going to say overview table.svelte and get our sort of new thing. And let's say commander. And this is how you can clear state or reset it. So let's reset it. The plan is in @plan.md. So now it has the whole plan of what I'm planning to do. I got this from McKay Wrigley. He's got a lot of videos on Cursor. So watch some of those. They're on Twitter and on YouTube. So the plan is this. I want to do the table now using shadcn tables. And let's go. Let's see what's happening. So it's going to create a table. And hopefully, oh, look, it's going to pull in the commit counts. So it's sort of created the plan on its side. And now it's implementing it with the pieces in the code base. So I'm going to just accept all those and go back. So we've got the plan now, but it's not used, I think. So now we need to clear all that. This table isn't shown. And like something like this, like I would just go do it, but I'm showing you cursor, so why not? Okay, now we got some problems. App.post CSS. Where did it hallucinated post CSS? That's all right though. Cool. So now we can close these other things and just focus on this. So tools commit count. Let's like show the data. Console log. Actually, table the data. No such file. So we've got an issue with this. So I'm going to just Command K and I. And realistically, I should reset this composer so it's just answering this question. You don't need all that history in there. And let's say this isn't found. And this, I think, is a SvelteKit runtime thing more than anything else. Let's see what it did. So this is one of those cases where I kind of want to review what it's doing. It's tools. It is trying to do this from the wrong directory because we're running within this directory. So we've got the file path, commits.json. I think we should maybe like specify where this is. where these are stored. So I think what we need to do is we need to move this commit counts to the static folder and fetch it from there. So let's just say what we did. I moved it to the SvelteKit static folder, update the references. So we're going to reject all those and go with the new thingamajig. Hey, everybody who joined. All right, let's see if it's working. Well, we've got some examples. Now it's got the structure of the data wrong. So let's pull in that data. Commit counts. You got the structure wrong, mate. Oh crap. Cancel apply. You got the data structure. So it was like thinking it had made like file structure, but the data structure is what was wrong. So I brought that in. Nah. Okay, so it was better before. So what we should do is escape this, and I want you to pay close attention to what is about to happen. I'm going to Command Z, and you get this back. So you get these things back. We're going to Command Z again, and this is what the change was before. So I'm going to save that. So we should get those 4 things again. And I should have the data table here. So here's the table that's being passed to the, so like data flow in SvelteKit. This server is an API endpoint. So it looks like what have we done? Okay, so it's getting the commits from fetch. This isn't the preferred way to do this in SvelteKit. So sometimes you should like put in some rules that you should stick to canon SvelteKit. But I'm not gonna like worry about that here because yeah, that's not what this one's about. So I'm gonna say let's see. So I'm gonna close those to the right and say add this to the composer. We'll go ahead and refresh. So let's actually crap, I gotta add that again. Add to composer, and we'll say here's the data structure. We're just presenting the overview. And this should update my table. Except that. There we go. So I've got start date. Okay. Let's make the table look prettier. It's working. It's showing correctly. I don't know, the CSS. Ooh, is the data still there? Yeah, data's still there. Okay, so that's a good starting point to like just come in here and say, okay, like class background. We don't need to set the background text. Hold on. Mess with my keyword shortcuts. Black. There we go. So that's better. Let's center this one. One thing I had to do was I had to remap my cursor Command I. and because Command I brings that up, so I map mine to Command Shift I, and that should pull up the like the IntelliSense, but it's not. It doesn't. So let's see, text center. Okay, I don't know if you saw that, but it showed that like this was sort of wrong. So let's look here, and this is text center. I think what's potentially happening is this style is being overwritten. Yeah, it's being overridden here from the other one. So this is like a shadcn thing, I think. So let's go to the table, data table, and yeah, they have a lot of stuff that can be used for the data table in here. So cell formatting, there we go. Table create columns. Let's look at how these columns were. Oh, you know what? It hasn't even used shadcn. Oh man. Okay, so okay, you haven't even used that table. Actually, let me open that because we're in a monorepo and there's a lot of components. So what do they call it? Data table. So one thing we can do is Commander and then let's see, overview table. If I open that, this will show up at the top there. But I can also pull in folders. So I can be like table folder. Folder. Table. So I need to make sure that I'm in the right package because we use this elsewhere. So this is the right dashboards package. And then we need to pull in the overview table. We'll say, forgot to use shadcn. Yeah, I'm absolutely right. Of course I'm right. I know what I'm doing. Okay. Let's see. There we go. That's a lot prettier. So yeah, I think that's it. Like this, you know, was a sort of quick update project. Like, hold on, let me commit this and I'll show you what we did. So like in this one, we used cursor and some advanced methods on planning to create a project that will pull in the commit counts for the week and display them. I want to show a graph, you know, soon. I'm not sure if shadcn has that for the Svelte version yet. So let me git add all, and let's check if that PMPM is an issue. Commit counts. So yeah, we've got, we did move that commit counts. So I'm going to refresh, just make sure everything's in here. So yeah, everything's in there. So we'll commit that. It'll do my AI powered commit generator. Implement a dashboard layout. Cool. So I could, you know, do a PR, and this would be in our code base. And every week, come in here and run the script to update the text. I think I need to change that script now. We got the baseline, but need to add the other things in there. But if you look at what we did in the space of an hour, let's say feature dashboard. close that. So this is where I branched from main. We added the SvelteKit with all the sort of defaults. We added Tailwind and shadcn to be able to do things. We created some UI components, pulling out the header, and pulled in the data from that weekly file. We also got the shell script, adjusted it to do Unix timestamps and work on Mac as well. And then we created the layout. So in space of an hour, we were able to get the first step for a dashboard that would show a lot more information, hopefully in the future. So let me know if you enjoyed this and what other sorts of talks you'd like to see. There are a lot of avenues that you can go with this. So let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But anyways, thank you. Have a good day, and we'll talk later.